The finance titans of Wall Street, they have been cherry-picking top talent from the best schools for decades, but these days Silicon Valley is giving them a run for their money, literally. Here are the look inside the fierce war between tech and finance for the country's highest performing candidates is Market Watch reporter Jonnelle Marte. How has this flow of candidates from top schools traditionally gone, Jonnelle?
So for years, it's been this ritual of, the top banks going to the best colleges and recruiting the best and the brightest. But now, that did drop off because of the financial crisis. Banks had to trim back their staffs. The bonuses are not what they used to be, or at least shareholders would not like them to be. And so they don't have as much power when it comes to attracting the top candidates, and we are seeing, even though banks are hiring again, and not to say that they can't get the talent that they need, because they can,
right.
But they are facing a lot more competition from these new tech firms, startups. People just want to work in this cooler environment.
And that you're hitting on something right there. I mean, it's almost like in some of these candidates you spoke to, these job candidates, they're weighing two different lives. I mean, two different lifestyles, right? One is this wear a suit, slick back your hair, Wall Street look, and the other something completely more laid back. What attracts them, in addition to just sort of having like maybe a fun room to play in at a tech company, what else attracts them to that way of life?
There is a very different culture there, right? So the tech firms, these are well-paying jobs. We're not talking about living and starving, but they also have this like cool vibe. It's a chance to work on something that you use every day, a website or a gadget, something that your peers are using that you feel like you can make an impact. So it's a combination of being able to make an impact, being able to wear jeans and t-shirts to work, and having challenges that interest you.
And maybe stock options in a company that could go public, right?
Exactly, and that's something that we've seen a lot of, is people who go to work for these smaller companies. You may not be making as much as you would at a big bank initially, but you can get private equity, you can get stock options, and if the company does well, you can really kind of make it big.
Some of these stats, Harvard, I think, took a survey of its class of 2013 and found about what 31% of graduating seniors were still going to go to work on Wall Street. But that sounds like a lot, but it's pretty. That's way down from before the financial crisis.
Right, it is up, but it's still down from the 47% that were going into those fields in 2007. So it's a sign that banks are hiring again, but they're not hiring at the pace that they used to be. And if you look at the numbers, the projections are that tech firms are expected to hire much more strongly in the coming years than banks are. And so there are just going to be more opportunities there as well.
Did you get a sense that a lot of students who may be studying business in school are also simultaneously studying computer science?
Oh, they are. I was really impressed and surprised at the way that people are studying both. And I think that it's a combination of things. It's that the skills that you need to maybe, and be an analyst at a bank are the same kind of analytical skills that will do well at some of these tech firms. And I think it's also the idea that you need a foundation in technology to get your business off the ground these days.
Yeah, and I think the appeal too of going to work on something like a Facebook, apps that you are using every day to change that for you and your friends and your family. I mean, that appeal's got to be pretty strong. Plus, people understand a little bit more what you do.
Exactly.
Than just saying I'm working on Wall Street.
Yes.
All right, thanks so much, Jonnelle Marte, more on MarketWatch.com.